Yeah, where's my mask? COVID. Stuck at home. Wanted to make this statistics video for you guys on the practice test, answer some questions that a few of you emailed me, especially Cam. Shout out. So basically, just running through it really fast. So the observational unit here is vehicles or model of cars. I think on the test it's going to be talking about states. Number two, let's see. So model description, odometer price, a new price. They're all variables, but what kind of variables? So the variables are categorical for model and description because they're words, right? Words. The odometer, selling price, and new price are quantitative, quan, because they're numerical numbers. There's numbers in the data. So categorical, and this is quantitative. Nice. So then you get to the next part, which is basically following the instructions. And so it's basically just getting all these percentages, right? So that's the selling price divided by the new price. So 21695 divided by 48375 is 0.45. 14495 divided by 30,000 is 0.48, and so forth. So if you go ahead and go to the stat button, go to edit, and then you enter all those selling prices and new prices, list 1, list 2, into your calculator. Then you can get all those decimals by going over to L3, going upwards, pushing an enter till it blinks and winks at you, that's it. And then you type in the formula, second 1, so L1, divided by second L2. And so you'll be, so L1 divided by L2. And then you push enter and it goes brrrah. And it does all those decimals for you. And we can sort those to the highest and lowest for the test with, I think it's uninsured population versus just the population. Uninsured versus insured. And awesome. So you'll be doing the same kind of process of getting all these decimals. There we go. Okay, so then question 4 asks us, and I think I messed up on Canvas where if you choose the wrong Chrysler Pacifica or Dodge 2.0 it marks it wrong, but I'll go in there when you're done and fix it for you. Let's see here, there's our percentages that should match up with our calculator. Yep, 0.3558, which rounds up to 0.36. 0.343 just truncates off at 0.34. So don't forget to round correctly. So which car had the highest percentage, and what was that percentage? Well, the highest percentage was, you can kind of eyeball it, 0.69. But if you wanted to sort your data on the test, which you're about to do probably, or after this practice test, you'd actually go to the stat button. You go to sort, let's say descending would be highest to lowest. Make sure you do all 3 lists now. So you're going to do a percentage, which was our list 3 that we just created. Using that formula, L1 divided by L2. And so we do a sort descending L3, and then you don't forget the comma. And then it's above the 7, the comma. And then we have L2, and then comma L1. And you can push enter. Boom, done. So then when you go back in, make sure you do all 3 lists. All 3 lists. Else it's going to mix up your data and you're going to have to start over. All 3 lists. So now I put 0.69 at the top with its data. And so if we look for 35695 for the selling price, so 35695, there it is for the selling price, which is our 0.69, which was our 0.69581, rounds up to 0.70. And so that is going to be the Chrysler Pacifica AWD. Not this one, but this lower one. Nice. So then that would be our Chrysler Pacifica, and then what's the percentage? 70%. Which 2 cars make up the median percentages, and what were those percentages? So a few of you kind of mixed that up, so be careful now. Median is the middle, and so it's already highest to lowest. We can still work with that. So the middle would be the what? If there's 10 total cars or vehicles, it'd be 10 divided by 2. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th and 6th percentages. So 0.45 to 0.48 would be our answer, 0.45 to 0.48. And the vehicle names is the 14495 and the 21695. So 14495 and 21695. So it's the Dodge Grand Caravan as well as the Dodge SX 2.0. And so that's our answers for the median. For the percentage, again, it was like 40, what was it, 45 to 48. And then the Grand, what was it called again? The Dodge Grand Caravan and the Dodge SX 2.0. Beautiful. And then you're looking for the lowest percentage. And what's that percentage? The highest price. What's that price? Then you're talking about the, oh, so this is percentage. Then it'll actually ask you about selling price, selling price, selling price. And you could eyeball that pretty easily just looking through the data. On the test, it'd be good to sort through the data using our sort feature. Right, again, that stat button, sort ascending or descending. So for example, if we wanted to jump to number 9, which car had the lowest selling price? Well, if we look at our data, selling price was the first one, list 1. And so list 1 selling price, we go to our, this is just getting ready for the test if you have a graphing calculator. If you don't have one, you're going to have to just eyeball carefully and look through that list. Look which state had the lowest population or the highest population, or highest insured or lowest insured, or the percentages. Got to calculate all those and then eyeball it and just look up and down, put them all in order least to greatest, you know, find the median, stuff like that. So you might have to do it all by hand, which if you could use your graphing calculator, you'd get one. If you haven't done one, get one. They're useful all year. You can still rent one. Let's see here. So sort ascending. And we are going to do list 1 this time because we're doing it according to the selling price, comma, list 2, comma, list 3. And make sure you list all 3 lists so you don't mix up your data, because it will. If you only do 1 list, it'll only mix up that list. And you go stat button and you go back into edit your data, and there it is. 14495 is the lowest selling price. And so we look for 14495 again, which was Dodge SX 2.0, which is the first one listed actually in your multiple choice answers. I should have only listed one of them, but there were 2. I'll fix it though when you finish your practice test. I'll go in there and give you those points back. If you chose basically the second one and and then it marked you wrong for some dumb reason because you meant the first one. But okay, beautiful. Write a little short paragraph why we can't fairly judge a car by looking at its sold price. Here's a dot plot with our percentages. Should look something like that. Make sure you upload that. So there's lots of things. Odometer reading. There's lots of different reasons why we can't just look at the price. For example, the PT convertible is the best deal, not just because of the price, but because of the asking price divided by the new price. Will help us know if we're getting a good deal. And what about the extra features? Extra features give the car more value too, as well as the odometer and how many miles they've done. Nice. Okay, there we go. So then using our dot plots, right, you're doing 25% or 0.25 to 0.3499 or 34.99%. You're going to carry that all the way to 75 to 84.99 and so forth. Then you're going to describe the data using SOX. Now, question 12, Cam, name drop. So it's for question 12. It is asking you to do SOX of the features of this distribution. So when it says this distribution, it's referring to the percentages of selling price divided by new price, okay? Because that's the percentages. Let me write that down. So when we're asking you to do SOX, oh, here it is. So we're doing it of the percentage of selling price versus new price. So make sure that that's what you do SOX. It's basically that that list 3 where we just did a histogram. And so you're doing SOX around that. So of course what you would do is you would use list 3 in your calculator. You go to stat button over to calc, and then one var statistics is going to find that average and median. Remember that? So we're going to change it to list 3 instead of list 1 because that's the percentages. So the average you should get is 0.473. And the median is 0.465, which rounds up to 0.47. Again, average is 0.473, 0.47. And then the spread max minus the minimum is 0.695 minus 0.253. And that'll give you the spread. Any outliers? No. And the shape, so I'd probably the shape, I mean, it looks roughly symmetric, maybe it's slightly skewed to the right, but not strong there. And then how many cars had a higher odometer reading above speech liberty? You can basically eyeball that, right? You could do that on the test too. It might take you a while, but you could look at it. So you look at Jeep Liberty's odometer, and you see how many had higher reading. So Jeep Liberty odometer is 31,000. So who had higher than 31,000? Well, Pontiac did. That's 1. Chrysler's 2. Barely 3, and then 4. So the answer to that question should be 4. Nice. And then how many cars were more expensive? The selling price. So you do that same process for 14 and 15. Just look who had more than the selling price and more than the new price for those two answers. And then a good explanation for the discrepancies among those things. So why do you have a lot more people with more odometer reading and then maybe not as much as expensive new price, old price, right? And so basically, just to go over that with you, because I know that might have been kind of confusing. So 4 vehicles had a higher odometer reading, 3 had a higher selling price, and then 6 vehicles had a higher new price. So basically, the Jeep Liberty Sport is possibly not as good a deal compared to the other vehicles. Its odometer is too high, and selling price is high, but new price isn't. That's kind of weird. So yeah, so basically odometer is kind of the big reason why. So make sure you put a big reason there. Okay, then last but not least, looking at question 17. Name drop Cam again. So 17 was a good question that you asked. So let's kind of back it up to show how we got that. So here it is. So basically you think about it like this. So average is add them all up, right? So number 17 says, and you're going to see this on the test. So this is definitely a test question. There'll even be an extra credit one too. It's very similar with 3 different items. So this is a test question, so we'll put a little star there. And so we have basically 32 grocery items, right? We have the first one, the second one. These are number signs there. The first number, second number, third number, fourth, ... all the way to the 32nd items. So think about average. Think about what this 547 is. So you add up all those 32 items, x1, x2, x3, x4, all the way to x32, all of them. And then you add them all up and you divide by 32, and that gives you the $5.47. So if you think about this as a giant X that you're solving for, then X divided by 32 equals 547. Then you would times 32 over to the other side. And that's going to give you the total cost of all, right? The total cost of all the grocery items. And so the total cost, 547 the average, times 32 total items, is going to be 175.04. Then you add on the 2 more grocery items to get a new total. So add 225 plus 199. That's going to give you 179.28. Then you have 34 items instead of 32 now. So you're going to divide by 34 to get the new average. Right? When you divide by 34 to get the new average, you would get $5.27. So because our items were less than 547, they were 225 and 199, that lowered our average down to 527. Interesting, huh? So that's really cool. That's how you do 17. So thanks for watching. Keep studying hard and ace that test. Ace that test. So you, behind the screen. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Stay safe. Wear masks. Don't get COVID.